Delilah by the Plain White Tees is a fantastic song for us to be introduced to the idea of a bar chord. A bar chord is a chord shape where a single finger, the first finger, will cover a number of strings. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this piece. I want to talk about the right hand pattern for the entire piece first. So the right hand pattern is kind of a folk picking pattern, but it's also something when we're working on our classical pieces that we see. We start out with our thumb on the fourth string of the guitar in the right hand, and index and middle on strings 3 and 2. And the pattern we want to practice is thumb, index and middle at the same time. So I would practice just doing this picking pattern over and over again. As you practice the pattern, you can start slowly and gradually speed the pattern up. Thumb, index, middle at the same time. 4, 3 and 2, 4, 3 and 2. So we're going to work on the intro and the pre-chorus of this tune. In another video, we'll learn the rest of the song, which is the chorus and then the outro, the end part. But they're all based around the same basic chord shapes. So the next step for us is to learn these basic chord shapes. The first chord we want to learn, we already know, but we haven't played it exactly in this way. That chord is D. So normally we're used to playing our D chord with our first, second, and third finger. In order to do this tune, we want to go ahead and play D with a bar. And our bar is going to cover strings 3, 2, and 1. To get the best bar with the least amount of pressure, what you want to do is place your finger right next to the fret and then slightly roll it back towards the headstock of the guitar. Your thumb should be about right opposite where that finger is, so you're applying a good amount of pressure. Once you have this bar, go ahead and add your second finger on the second string at the third fret. This will give us our D chord. Now, in the right hand, you're only going to pluck strings 4, 3, and 2, just like we were practicing on the open strings. That's the first chord of the piece. This transitions to a new chord for us, F sharp minor. In order to play F sharp minor, you're going to keep your first finger down and you're going to add your third finger on the fourth string at the fourth fret. So that bar is going to stay put. My thumb remains behind it on the back of the neck. My finger still's kind of rolled back a little bit. So this F sharp minor chord will then keep us in the same right hand position where we're still playing thumb on the fourth string, index and middle on 3 and 2. So these two chords provide us the foundation for the intro and the verses. We do our D chord 4 times, thumb, I am, thumb, I am. F sharp minor 4 times. Back to D. Back to F sharp minor. Back to D. Back to F sharp minor. Back to D. Back to F sharp minor. I like to think of doing that intro pattern or that verse pattern 4 times. And that helps me keep track of where I am in the song. So I'm doing that first pattern of D to F sharp minor 4 times. So now let's talk about the remaining 3 chords. The first chord is another brand new one for us, B minor. So in order to play B minor, we would normally have to practice a very large 5-string bar. But for this tune, it's actually a little bit easier than that. So here's what we're going to do. Put your first finger down on the 5th string at the 2nd fret. Put your second finger down on the 2nd string 3rd fret, your pinky on the 3rd string at the 4th fret, and your 3rd finger on the 4th string 4th fret. This is B minor. Now, If we wanted to play the full version, where we would strum strings 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we would have to lay that bar down. But in this tune, we're never playing that first string, so we don't have to worry about covering it. So the pre-chorus starts out with this shape, and now our thumb plucks the 5th string, index and middle pluck strings 3 and 2. And we do this 3 times. We then lift up our first finger and play the open 5th string. Now we go to a G chord. 2nd finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret. And we're going to pluck thumb on 6th string, index and middle on strings 3 and 2. And we're going to do this twice. Now we go ahead and place our first finger down in a little bar across those top 3 strings. And in the right hand, we're going to pluck the 5th string open, followed by strings 3 and 2. We then go back to the B minor chord 4 times. Back to our A chord. And then we shift so that we're just playing the 2nd string at the 2nd fret, and we pluck strings 5, 2, and 1. So the pre-chorus is as follows. B minor, open 5th string, G, A, B minor, 4 times, A, and that's the pre-chorus. We then go back to the verse lick again with D and F sharp minor. So there's a lot of repetition in this song. Go ahead and work on this portion of the tune. In the continuation of this video, we'll talk about how to work on the chorus and the outro, which is the little pattern at the end.